All right, everybody, welcome back. Today's topic is about nothing. We are just going to chat. I'm sitting here with Rico Sandoval, one of the guys who I used to pick his brain, I don't know, 3-4 times a day about report writing and all this other nonsense years ago when I got started.
It was fun.
Yeah. How you doing, Rico?
Good. How are you?
So you had fun trying to teach me?
It was fun, but then again, I lost contact with you because you stopped calling.
Oh, I got smarter? I got a little smarter?
Well, which is a good thing.
What's that?
She said for our beers.
Ah.
That's good.
A mystery person just dropped off some nuts. So let's not get into that right now. Okay. So Rico,
Yes,
what
sir.
is going on with you, man? It's good to see you.
Likewise, man. It's been a while.
It's been quite a while since I've seen you in person.
Yes.
We've chatted a few times recently and stuff like that. And then you commented on Facebook about the podcast or the video, or the Facebook, is it YouTube videos? And then
You had posted a podcast on one of the home inspectors page. I think it was home inspector locker room, or there was a different one, and it was on foundations.
oh, okay.
And you know the good thing about this industry or any industry is it doesn't matter how long anybody's been doing it, you're always learning something new.
Always.
Always.
Your opinion of something's going to be a little different than mine, and you may
Right.
look at it in a different way. Like going to the monthly meetings that I go to, CREIA meetings.
Right.
I may be hesitant sometimes to go because, well, I heard the speaker before. All right, I'll go. And then I take one little bit of a morsel out of it to learn from. And I'm like, you know what?
Right.
Light bulb.
Yes, because you might hear the same information all the time,
Right.
but then it resonates with one particular person.
Yeah.
And that's what happened when I heard your podcast on foundations, because you get a lot of foundations more so than I do.
Crawlspaces, yeah.
Crawlspaces, yes. That's what
We
I
can
mean.
change that if you'd like, because I can't stand doing them anymore.
No, I'm okay. I don't like crawlspaces.
It's not that exciting anymore. I've done thousands of them. It's crazy.
The first thing I do when I see a crawlspace is I measure the opening, and I go by the.
And then you
standards.
measure yourself.
Well,
Let's see. Square
that's-
peg, round hole.
that's pretty much what it is. And then the good thing about the crawlspaces is that it has ventilation on the outside, so I could easily I know what I'm looking for,
Sure.
and just zooming in with the camera,
Yeah.
and putting that in the report.
Give you an idea. Of course, it's not the best way, but it'll give you an idea of what's going on under there.
Yes.
If you see a massive leak or something actually dripping, I've caught drain pipe leaks just by walking by a crawl space.
Yes.
And I heard it leaking.
Yes.
Because it was so heavy. It was just pouring right into an already existing puddle.
That's correct.
It's been leaking for so long. So another thing too about looking at crawl spaces from the outside is you can use your flashlight in the vent screens and find to see if it's anchored.
Yep.
Bam, see one bolt, it's anchored. You're
Yep.
not going to see all of them because chances are you got lucky and saw that one right there in the opening of the vent screen. But all the other ones are staggered. You don't know how many there are. Yeah.
Speaking of anchoring, have you ever had an issue where it is anchored, but the customer is a structural engineer and they want you to count every bolt?
That's when I say kiss my ass.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
That's nonsense. First of all, you're not required to do that.
Right.
If you follow any kind of standards, you're not required to do that.
Right.
So
He wanted me to count them and to measure how far they were from each one to another.
that's exactly what the standards say not to do.
Right. And this guy was a structural engineer. He was coming in from San Francisco, moving down to LA.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him that we don't do that. And ever since, I haven't heard from that realtor. So I don't know if it was that case or their buyers just got discouraged from this market.
It's hard to say, but sometimes that's a blessing
Yeah.
when people stop calling you,
Right.
because usually those are the people you don't want to deal with. And the reason why they're not calling you back is because, you actually, said no.
Right.
You actually say, hey, look, this is not what I do. And some people just want you to bend to all the rules.
Yeah.
And they don't understand the consequences that come with that.
It's huge consequences.
It is. It's not worth business from one person who might give you a couple jobs a year. It's not even worth that for someone who gives you 3 jobs a month.
Right.
The headache of going down the lawsuit rabbit hole is not good in any business.
Right.
And it's what people don't seem to understand about the legal aspect of stuff is it is time consuming. It's an inconvenience beyond your belief, and you don't know. You're just going to say, "Oh, I'm just going to sue you." That's their attitude. I'm just going to sue. Well, go ahead, and we'll see who hangs the longest, who runs out of money.
When that happens, I turn around and say, "I'll see you in court."
That's it. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. It's not what we want to say.
No,
but they kind of put you against the wall.
That's one of the things that I learned is as soon as they mention lawyer or lawsuit, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
See you. Call me, and we'll see you in court.
Yeah. So yeah, that's not fun. I thought of something else that you mentioned a little while ago. The anchoring. Go back to the anchoring real quick.
Yeah.
I had a job a few months back, and I had inspected the house. And then they asked me to come back and do some indoor air quality sampling and so forth, and some mold sampling because I found some problem areas. And so I came back on a different day, like a week later. And the buyer's agent, who's a nice guy, I know the guy. I've worked from a few different times. He goes, "Hey, John, by the way, I know you mentioned in your report there was anchoring, but the foundation guys were here and said there was no anchoring." I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting. Come here, let me show you something."
Yeah.
Took my flashlight. Put my flashlight in 6 of the Crawlspace openings, the vent screens, and I counted 6 bolts. I was like, "How are they telling?" He goes, "You got to be fucking kidding me." Foundation guy was trying to get him to spend money on a retrofit that he didn't even need.
That's the problem.
That's ridiculous.
That's the problem in every single inspection. When we recommend something, they get a second opinion, which rightly so. They should get a second opinion.
That's what we're telling them, yeah.
But the contractors they know the client is not going to go under the house.
Yep.
They know they could tell them anything.
Yep.
They know they could tell them what's not there. A foundation crack, buckling walls and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they just want to upsell them, and that's unfair. And I think that's the advantage of having a home inspection from a home inspector that knows what they're looking for, that's unbiased, has no interest.
Yeah, we're not trying to upsell you anything.
No.
Yeah.
No, nothing at all.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it does happen.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. So, hey, let's go back in time a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's go back in time to when I met you.
Yes.
I met you from Eric.
Eric Richards.
You still talk to Eric?
No.
Is he around?
I don't know. I don't know.
You just don't talk to him anymore. Okay.
No, I lost. I kind of like ruffle the feathers on a lot of home inspectors in my area.
Now, why would you do a thing like that, Rico? Shame on you.
A lot of it has to do with pricing, and a lot of it has to do with service. Not that I give a better service, but I tell them, there was one home inspector that he was doing free pool inspections with every home inspection.
Stupid.
So I talked to him and I said, "What are you doing? First of all, you're making me look bad and everybody else look bad.
Yep.
And your liability is huge." Okay? And so he started charging. And then that same person, I said, "Listen, you need to start doing sewer inspections." So I'm telling my competitors to do what I'm doing, so I don't have to be the only one. There's so much business out there, John. I don't understand why home inspectors don't work together.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly my point. Yeah, that's exactly my point. Los Angeles. How many houses are in Los Angeles?
Oh my goodness, a lot.
A billion? I don't know. It seems like there's a billion of them.
A lot.
There's so much work out there for. I mean, God, there's so many inspectors out here, inspection companies. I know quite a few.
Right.
And a lot of them have multi-guys. They have multiple inspector firms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think too much about that. I just do my thing.
Well, I learned that.
Yeah.
I'm so much of a, okay, if there's a new person that gets into the industry in my area or anywhere else, my name always gets thrown out there. And I like it because I like to teach, which I understood that now if I ever retire, I think I'm going to teach home inspections or something.
Well, you better get on top of it, buddy, because I've already started building an online training.
I could be one of your instructors.
There you go.
See, that's the thing about working together.
Yeah.
You could teach your strong points. I could teach my strong points.
Yep.
And so going back to Eric Richards, great guy, love the guy, but he doesn't talk to me because of the pricing issues on home inspections. He does the same service that I do. He includes the same protection that I do, but his prices are lower, and I'm like, you're undercharging everybody.
It's working for free,
and
with a lot of liability that goes with it.
Well, he's setting a lower standard.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of guys out there that do that.
Yeah, and that's...
And all we can do is separate ourselves from that by just sticking to our prices. I know what my inspections entail. Yes. I'm not going to be at a house for no less than 2.5 hours. I don't care. If that house is up to 2,000 square feet, I'm there for at least 2.5 hours. Mm-hmm. Even if it's 1,500 square feet, it seems like I'm still there 2.5 hours.
Well,
there's a lot to look at.
It's a lot to look at, and the client deserves that. The home buyer,
absolutely,
they deserve that. They deserve an educated inspection. They deserve have other answers, other questions answered.
Yep.
They deserve that. Otherwise, it doesn't justify our fee.
Right.
Because you and I could inspect a house and then go on to the next one, to the next one, to the next one.
Yeah, we could try to do volume.
Yeah. I stopped doing volume.
Yeah.
I stopped. I only do 2 a day, and that's it. And if I get one right in the middle of the day, that's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
Not because I don't have time to do the rest of the another home inspection. It's just that I believe the buyers deserve there's money worth, and that's where the value comes in.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I don't try to do more than one a day. The only time I do more than one a day is if I have multiple really good customers of mine requesting my service.
Yes.
You always want to take care of your realtors who believe in you and call you on everything. So I always fit them in. So even if it's gonna be a rough day, maybe I'm doing, like tomorrow, I have a 5,500 square foot house to do with the sewer.
Wow.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
You know, and if one of my really good realtors called me and said, John, I got to have it tomorrow, I would do it.
Yeah.
Because
I'm the same way.
Because they're always calling me, and they're always referring me to the customers because they like my service. They like the consistency of what I do. I'm not rewriting my reports every time they have a new customer. That everything's the same understanding and so forth.
Yeah.
So it's important. That is, there's a lot of validity to that, as far as keeping your clients happy. But then there's the unrealistic side of it, which is people calling out of the blue who you don't even know.
Yeah.
Oh, can you come tomorrow?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, can you come tomorrow and give me the report right when you're done? No.
Even though we can, but it's different. Do
you want photos?
Yeah.
Yes. Then I can't give it to you at the same time.
Yeah.
It takes time to get photos together. Sometimes they got to be adjusted. I really enjoy
quality,
dotting my I's and crossing my T's on
Yes.
reports. I don't rush reports, and I tell every customer the same thing. The report will be done when it's done.
Yeah.
And it'll be within 24 hours of me being here.
Right.
That's the best I'm willing to offer you. If you need it sooner, then you're just going to have to call somebody else.
Yeah.
Because I'm just being realistic with you.
And they appreciate that.
Some do.
Yeah.
Someone just hang up on you.
Yeah.
Don't even say bye. Click.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's always entertaining. And then going into, well, staying on the customer thing, the customer service and all that, you're only as good as your last inspection.
Yes.
So like I guess what we're trying to communicate here to everybody is, sure, you can do volume, because let me break that down a little more. So there's inspectors who only want to do volume, which I call minimalist inspectors.
Yes.
Because their report is just checkbox, 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 and they're gone. That's all they do. They don't get into detail on stuff. Most of the time, they will not go into your house. They'll open the access hatch and go like this with a flashlight and leave. Mm-hmm. And they'll do the same thing in your attic. And those are the two areas that need the most attention.
Yes.
On every house. That's where the hidden stuff is.
Because those are the two areas that nobody goes in.
Right. That's where you find a lot of problems. So that would be a volume inspector, as opposed to just, do what you can handle. Years ago when I first started, I had about a year or so where I was doing like 3 a day.
Yeah.
And that caught up to me.
Yeah.
I was just like, I started forgetting stuff from the previous house I was at earlier. I'm like, oh shit, which one was that? And luckily I was taking pictures of everything because it saved my ass. But I realized, okay, that's too much.
It really is.
2 a day is good. 2 condos, no problem.
Yeah. 2 a day, it's perfect for me.
Yeah.
And I, even though, depending on where I'm at, like I'm not going to do one in Irvine and the other one in Victorville.
Right.
It has to line up.
Yeah.
If they don't line up, either one, I add it to a different day, or don't do it.
Yeah. You got to say no.
Yeah.
Well, I do it, but I can do it on this day. And if they're willing to wait for you, if they really want you, they'll wait.
Right.
But you talk about lining stuff up. It's kind of interesting because I've noticed that I'll get a random call sometimes for like, can you do like Santa Ana? And depending on my schedule, if I'm open that day, I'll say yes to it. Yeah. I don't mind taking a drive. I have to drive everywhere. It's not like I'm doing something new.
Right.
Everywhere I go is like an hour. So, and then within that same day or the following day, I'll get another call. Oh, hey, can you be in like Torrance oh, you know what? I'm going to be down. And that's happened to me so many times.
Yes.
That's like crazy weird. I'm like, what? How the hell did that happen?
Yeah. I've been getting a lot of realtors and brand new realtors that I haven't worked with.
Right.
They call me and say, hey, you live in Lake Elsinore? Yes, I do. Okay, I need an inspection in Lake Elsinore. I'm like, okay, perfect. I live here. It's a great town. Yeah. And I give them my price, and they're like, but you live there.
Stop talking so much. You gave them too much information, Rico. I don't know. That's next time. Say, it's about an hour drive. So yeah, here's my price.
So I like it when they ask me, do you drive to Lake Elsinore? Yes.
Every day.
Matter of fact, I do. Yeah, it's actually on my way home.
Yeah.
Oh, I did an inspection. Okay, great. And yeah, and they really believe that the price should be lower because I live in town.
Yeah.
Do you get those?
Not yet. I haven't gotten that one yet. I'll be honest. I haven't heard that one yet. And I live in Burbank, and I get calls from Burbank all the time. Yeah, I tell them, yeah, I live in Burbank. Great. No one ever says, oh, can you do it cheaper? No. Yeah. You just had a cheapskate on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be cheap on the inspections, home buyers. Be cheap on the blinds. When you move in,
Yeah.
Don't try to save money on your inspector. That's just a bad thought, bad logic. Well, I don't believe in that at all.
The inspection is a great investment.
It is.
And every buyer should want one.
Yeah, and here's something I think most buyers don't even think about. And that is, well, I'm paying this guy $500-600 for an inspection. But they don't think, well, when I get that report, there's going to be at least $5,000 worth of credits I could probably get just from that report. Real head scratcher. Does that math add up to you? Let's see. Let's invest $500 or $600, whatever it is, and then maybe we can get back $4,500 in credits. they don't think of that. And I'm not going to tell them that either. If they can't think of that process, as I've asked several realtors, what is the average amount of money that you get credited back on a house?
About $5,000.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I think any home inspection report can recoup $4,000 to $5,000 worth of money.
Yes. Have you ever had clients that ask you, should I have the seller fix it or should I get credit?
All the time.
What do you respond?
I tell them to get a credit.
Same here.
Yeah. Because every time I've been called back to do a reinspection, nothing was done. Or it was done completely wrong. And
Speaking
it wasn't
of
done by a
reinspection,
pro.
speaking of reinspections, what is your fee for a reinspection?
Minimum to go back is $250 an hour, 1 hour minimum.
Okay. Okay, I'm at 60% of my inspection fee.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the inspection fee, it's 60% off that, which is a little bit higher than $250.
But that depends on what the callback is.
If it's one item or 20 items, because
Right.
it's gonna take me. I'm gonna invest.
You have to drive there,
I have to drive there,
drive back.
right, and it's gonna be the same amount of time as a home inspection.
Right.
And I think that's
If it's a laundry list, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, if it's a lot of stuff.
I just feel sorry when they have to pay that fee, and half of the items were not completed.
Yeah, I usually tell them to put that fee on the seller.
Well, that's where the realtor comes in.
I tell them anyway,
Do you?
all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I come back and everything was fixed,
Yeah.
then they did a service. So I don't tell them that.
Yeah. But I think a credit is much better.
A credit is better because it's just common logic. I mean, you're trying to sell something.
Right.
Why would you want to put a bunch of your money into it just because you're selling it? So automatically, we're humans. We just want to save money.
Right.
I mean, it's really not that hard to figure out. So they're going to get the cheapest guy.
So speaking of inspections, what's your take on listing inspections?
I do them.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I have a love and hate relationship with listing inspections
Why is that?
because
Let's explain to everybody what that means first.
a listing inspection is before you sell the house, before you put it on the market, you want to have it inspected. I think it's one of the best investments a seller
Yep,
can make,
absolutely.
and they want that done.
Yep. So it minimizes big surprises.
Yes.
It's definitely going to minimize big surprises if you have a thorough inspection done.
Yes.
And then you can have that already in your pocket and ready to go if someone brings it up.
It expedites it. I believe that it expedites the process because the buyer sees a report, nothing got fixed, but they're going to get this much credit, and it saves 2-3 days,
Absolutely.
and that's huge.
In today's market, that is priceless.
Huge. So that's what I love about those
Yeah.
listing inspections, sellers inspections.
I'm actually doing one this coming Friday.
I'm doing one on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And what I hate about it is if the buyer does get their home inspection, which they have all the right to do, I'm up against that other home inspector, and God knows what's his experience, if he's new, not new.
Getting thrown under the bus by a fellow comrade.
Yeah. And so I've done inspections when the buyer buys a house,
Yeah.
and that house had a listing inspection,
Yeah.
and they want to give me the report, and I don't want to see the report.
I don't look at him either.
No, I don't want to see it. I'm like, that's your report. That's yours. So if they gave it to you, fine. Let me finish my and then we'll just
Compare notes.
Compare notes.
Mm-hmm.
And they, of course, they read that report, so they know that report very well.
Yep.
So when I do my inspection, I add stuff that the other report didn't have, and vice versa. That report has something that I didn't, and
Right.
and they tell me, hey, in the other report, it had this item,
Yeah.
but you didn't mention it.
Oh, you call that inspector for that question.
It could be hairline cracks in the stucco. It could be something that has to do with maintenance. It's deferred maintenance, not a structure.
Cosmetic.
Yeah, it's cosmetic. And that's all it is.
Yeah.
So that's my love and hate relationship with
Yeah.
listing inspections.
I hear you. You know, it's not just other home inspectors you can run into that problem with.
Yeah.
A lot of contractors like saying, well, he should have pointed this out. Home inspectors are supposed to do this. I'm like, dude, you guys just stop talking. Stick to what you know and let us do what we know. Stop trying to, what they're trying to do is be the hero.
Yeah.
To get that repair locked in so they can get that money. And you don't need to take down the Army.
Right.
When you're trying to do a job. Please stop doing that if you're a contractor. It's just so stupid.
And if you're a contractor and you're listening to this, for the love of God, don't throw us under the bus. Let me explain to you.
That's what I mean.
This is not even a warm lead. This is a hot lead for you.
Yeah. You're there because of us.
You're there because of us. They're ready to sign a check over to you because of something that we recommended. If you want to be the hero and say, "Oh, this looks good," you just talked yourself out of a job.
Yep.
Because every contractor goes out there and does a free estimate. Okay? This is not a free estimate. My home inspector said that the water heater is leaking. Can you replace it? Don't show up and find something else that probably wasn't the tank, but it was probably something else in the water heater. It's ready. Don't throw me under the bus that the water heater is good, that you just got to replace his valve.
Yep.
Okay? That I'm an idiot. It happens all the time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And by the way, not all contractors don't charge for services, for quotes.
Yeah.
Some do. Oh, we're going to charge you $89. How do I know this? Because I tried to have someone come here and do some electrical, put some recessed lighting in. Okay, well, the initial call is going to be $89, but if we do the work, we'll take that off. I'm like, I am not paying you to give you my business. Click. I just hung up on him. That's bullshit.
Right. So in our industry, that's already done. They're getting paid, but they talk themselves out of it by saying that we're an idiot.
There's no need of it.
The bad thing about contractors is that sometimes they are willing to do the job, but they want to upsell it. Kind of like going back to the foundation guy that
on the anchoring.
You know, they're ready for you to put what is required, put what the minimum,
right?
Collect your check and leave.
Yep.
If you find something else, tell them afterwards. Hey, this is what we also found. You're fine right now, but we could come back in a year after what we installed probably settles a little bit. I don't know. We could come back and do a courtesy inspection and see how it's performing, and we'll take it from there. Yeah,
just the other day I went to, I had to go back to a house because the seller sealed off the crawl space completely. There was no access. So they did somewhat of a remodel. Yeah. And they literally sealed it off. So they put new flooring down, so it was completely gone. They had the sellers put it, and I got to be impressed. I said, by the way, before I come back, you need to send me a photo of that access because too many times I've gone back and the access wasn't adequate and I couldn't get in.
Right. What, too fat?
So the lady sends me a photo. Lady sends me a picture of the crawl space, and I was like, wow, that was the nicest crawl space access I've ever seen installed so quick. They had the handle on it and everything. The flush mount handle. It's like, damn, right there. I told them where to put it. I said, probably the best place would be in this closet here, and they actually put it right there.
Nice.
And so it was great. So I was like, wow, I'm impressed. And the lady started laughing because I told her I was impressed. So I go back, and before I get a chance to go in the house, the buyers showed up. They weren't there for the inspection. Their realtor was. But I first time meeting them. And then the guy goes, we had an asbestos inspector come by, and he said there's stuff there that you should have pointed out. I'm like, what? Exactly. So you had an asbestos inspector come by, and I believe his job is to point out asbestos. So what does that have to do with me? I said, maybe he doesn't realize that home inspectors cannot determine what is asbestos or what is not asbestos unless it's tested. And she goes, That's what I figured. I said, yeah. So I don't why would he even throw me under the bus if he's there to do the job? It doesn't make any sense.
That's my point. They're way out of a job.
They are.
If contractors are smart, they would go after our business with the same enthusiasm as we home inspectors go after realtors.
Yeah.
We're not there to screw anybody up.
No.
We're there to help, to educate, to inform.
Yeah.
And to give them our professional experience. That's what they hired us for.
Yep. That's true.
So you ready for a beer?
You brought beer?
Yeah. Chingon IPA.
Oh, shit. John's getting drunk today.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much to get me drunk.
No, and I bought you...
you just stay on that side of the table, young man.
Oh, yeah. Can I keep my clothes on, though?
Yeah, what do you got?
Hold on. El Chingon IPA.
Oh, look at that.
The reason why they call it El Chingon IPA is because this IPA is brewed with a Shingo blend of American hops. I guess that's the name of the hops, Shingo.
Oh, I thought you said shingle.
Well,
I was going to say it was a composition or...
well, it's CHINGO.
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 Okay, Chingo. Balanced with Munich malt, MUNICH, and dry hopped for aromatic intensidad. Oh, that's in Spanish. So, órale, crank up your Chingon factor.
Chingon is a band. Chingona. No. You say Chingon or Chingo?
Chingo. S.
No, it's CH, right?
Yes. And broken barrel reserved oak hops whiskey.
Whiskey in a bottle. Oh, shit. It's a good song, by the way.
Right there.
Wow, man. You brought me a gift?
Yes, sir.
Look at this guy. Thank you, man. That's really nice. I should be giving you a gift for all the education you've given me.
Oh, man, you're good, man. Your friendship is a gift.
There you go.
Being here is a gift.
Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Yeah.
You may not see me for a week after drinking this.
Right? I didn't even read the proof. What's the...
I hope you brought some ice and stuff.
Right here.
Look at this guy. He's prepared. All right, let's check this out. This is my first beer podcast, by the way.
Yeah. So, John, which... This is going to be one of your best podcasts for, like you said, nothing.
Yeah, no topic today. We're just chopping it up. This is unscripted. This is
uncensored.
Episode 20, uncensored, unscripted, and intoxicated.
That's it. Are you a beer drinker or no? Because you're very good on your health.
Well, if I'm going to drink anything, it'll be a beer. Years ago when I was younger, I used to go out and drink like the rest of everybody did. But when I hit my 40s, I started having really bad effects from hard liquor. Like I used to drink tequila shots. I had so much fun on tequila. We had so much fun on tequila, but I had to stop drinking that shit because I would probably get in a fight. I was like violent.
Really?
Yeah. If I was in a bar, I would be like, I'd be cool. But if somebody was like to start messing with me when I was on that, I didn't care who it was. It was kind of stupid.
If you haven't already, I'm probably going to be the only Mexican you will ever meet in your life or know that doesn't drink tequila because I'm allergic to the agave.
Ah, wow. That's crazy.
A Mexican allergic to tequila.
That could be a blessing.
But I love whiskey. I could drink whiskey. I could drink vodka. I stay away from vodka. Because vodka is like that one guy that you get in an argument with at a bar and just sneaks up on you.
I actually like vodka.
It sneaks up on you.
It does. You know what else sneaks up on you?
What's that?
Lemon drops. Ever do a lemon drop shot?
No.
Ooh, it tastes so good.
See, I stay
And
away
that
from those.
shit will sneak up on you, and you will be out. I used to treat my friends to that years ago all the time.
What is that? Is that a shot of tequila, whiskey?
It's
vodka?
it's a vodka mix,
Okay.
and it just tastes like lemon. It tastes so good. You don't really feel the alcohol until it's later on. It's like, whoa, then you're fucked.
Yeah. Well, when I drink, I don't get violent. I become the opposite of violence.
You become a lover.
Not so much. Not so much. I love you, man. No. But I
love you, man.
It's not like.
How many times have we heard that? Oh my God, that's so funny you said that.
No, it's I become but I learned my triggers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. I learned my triggers. So I learned what I am, who I become when I start drinking heavily. And
who is that?
Let's just say, for example, you and I are drinking, having a great time, and you're sharing with me that your podcast is growing, and I ask you, well, what's missing, and you tell me, and I try to give you that.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's 500, if it's 5,000, you're John, call right now, put on my credit card. You're my friend.
Oh, shit. Is that what you do? Well, I'll be calling you more often. Because, I got a Jeep in the garage, and I want to do some really cool shit to it. So, hey, where's that credit card at?
Yeah. Probably not the whole amount, but I'll do my best to get you a gift card for that or something. I end up giving my money away. So I know that that's not even healthy because then I end up getting in debt.
Getting in debt is no place to be.
No.
Getting in debt equals depression.
Yeah.
And desperation. As a young man, I made a lot of mistakes. Made a few when I was older, mostly when I was younger.
What's your take on that word, mistakes?
Mistakes? Well, there's a lot of different meanings for that, I guess. I guess what topic you're talking about. But what I'm referring to is I call them mistakes because in hindsight, I could have made a better decision.
Well, then it wasn't a mistake. It was a choice.
That's true. Okay.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
bad choices. Okay, let me rephrase that. I made some bad choices.
Because because I made some bad choices, and my kids asked me, so, Dad, what did you learn from your mistake? Mistake? What are you talking about? Well, yeah, that made you go places where you don't. It wasn't a mistake because I knew.
It was a conscious mistake.
I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, kids make mistakes.
Yeah.
They're not. They'll learn as they fall down.
Yeah.
They don't know how the stair threads are. They just want to run down with the skateboard, and that's
no helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
So, kids, do you take crayons, coloring books to your inspections if there's any kids right now?
I try not to take my personal stuff to work. I figure my coloring time is probably not going to be appreciated when I'm at work when I'm supposed to be inspecting their water heater. So anyway, Rico, you just mentioned...
the importance of having insurance. Piggybacking on what you said earlier.
Yeah.
What advice would you give a new home inspector? Because I inspected a house 4 years ago. 5.
It was 5 years ago?
Going on 5. And everything that they say everything that they said that I didn't mention, it's in the report. Okay? But this is the thing. The house was purchased cash, so there was no appraisal.
Let me stop you there for a second. Let me ask you a couple. I'm going to be a lawyer for a second.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have paperwork?
Yes.
Is there an inspection agreement?
Yes.
Okay. So you had that. You got paid.
Yes, and it's signed.
And this is 5 years later.
Yes.
They filed a complaint.
They filed the complaint 2 years later.
Oh.
2 years after the inspection.
Oh, 2 years after. Okay.
Yes, 2 years after the inspection. And but this is the interesting part. The home had had two gas meters. One was missing, so that leads me to believe that the option was there to add a second gas meter. Follow me? Because it was stubbed out.
Oh, was it a duplex?
Well, this is the tricky part. It was a home with 2 studios in the back.
Okay.
It might have been a second unit that got divided into the duplex. Does that make sense?
So a rear unit might have been multiplied.
Right.
Okay.
So, but I don't think it was permitted. We don't check for permits. We don't check for nothing like that. So what happened was, the buyers bought the house cash. They rented it out. They were now going to move in. They were like an 80-year-old couple. Okay. 2 years later, I get served with paperwork for financial abuse to the elderly.
Wow.
Misinformation on the home inspection. It was a laundry list.
So no one contacted you initially to say, hey, we have a problem. Can you come check this out?
No.
See, that right there is odd.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a frivolous lawsuit.
I do, but because I didn't have insurance, I'm paying out of pocket.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very important to have the proper coverage on insurance. So, me being a licensed realtor, I have access to the MLS. I did some research. So I researched on the purchase prior to this one because it's on the MLS.
Is this an ongoing lawsuit?
Yes.
Then you should be careful what you say right now.
Okay.
So don't get into detail. Just give me a rough understanding of what's going on.
I should be cleared, but get your coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have coverage.
I told you that because we're recording.
Damn Chingon IPA. Remember I told you? And they're warm, so I have to...
Your lawyer will thank me later.
Yeah. You know what? This lawyer that I have, if you ever need him, let me know. I know.
I'm gonna talk to you when we're done here about my advice on what you should do next.
Okay. He's a great guy. I was referred to him by Michael Casey.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, call this guy. He's gonna help you, and he is helping me because he's not charging me what he should be charging me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm paying 20 times more than the inspection fee, but that in itself, it's substantially lower than what I should be paying.
Yeah, I think there's light for you at the end of the tunnel. You just don't know it yet.
There is. I mean, I get bills every month, and I'm like, I'm dreading to open that email. Like,
yeah.
And then sometimes it's just a couple $100. Sometimes it's
900.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Because they had to go back and forth.
And that's what their strategy is.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so it's very important for the new home inspector to get their
contract first with their own attorney, E&O insurance next, because the E&O is going to ask you for your contract anyway.
Yeah.
They need to approve your contract.
Yes.
And don't do any job without that contract being signed. I'm going to say at least a day before.
Yes.
You want to always have that defense of saying, well, you had it 24 hours prior to me getting here. Why didn't you ask then?
Yeah.
As opposed to showing up and going, here, sign this. Oh, I didn't have a chance to read it. You know what I mean? So it's cover yourself. Like if I get booked today for a job Wednesday, everything's going out today. and I'm going to give them till tomorrow to sign it, to read it and sign it and pay, or I cancel it.
So
Because other people will be calling me for those time slots.
So what happens if it's for one of your very good referral partners, a good realtor?
It's all the same for everybody. And just a policy I made because I've been burnt before too many times with checks taken. I don't even take checks anymore.
It's a good policy.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
And my software allows me to do it very simply, and I think it's more efficient because when I get to the house, I don't want to deal with paperwork and payment. I want to focus on inspecting your house.
right?
So it just makes it easier for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That being said, and I know you're gonna probably bust my ass for this, but this was a special case for one of my very good realtors. I'm doing a listing inspection, seller's inspection, and she asked me, I would guarantee this. Can you submit it through escrow? Do you have any agreement through escrow?
If this desk wasn't 42 inches long, I'd be slapping you in the head.
Well, this is a one-time deal. This
No.
is a one-time deal.
No.
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 This is a one-time deal, and I told
You
her,
have a big heart. You have a bigger heart than I do, and I know you are. I know you do. I've known you long enough.
Yeah.
You want to please people, and you want to say yes. I get it. I'm gonna pull you back on that a little bit.
well, this is
Got to stick to a policy.
I've done maybe in my career, and I've been doing inspections since 2003. I think this
Yeah.
is like my maybe third one through escrow.
Third one this month, you mean?
No, third one in my whole
I'm just
career.
kidding.
Yeah. and I tell everybody I've had bad luck.
Yeah.
And she said, please, I'm gonna guarantee it. Okay.
You know, here's my logic behind
No, I
not getting
know.
paid first. Here's my logic behind it, because some people have a hard time with, well, why do you do that to customers, or why do I do that to customers? They're hiring me for a job. What does it matter if they pay me today or the next day? I'll explain that. When someone calls to reserve your time, they're reserving you, your physical body, to be somewhere at a certain time.
Right.
Which means if Joe calls me and books me for Wednesday at 9 a.m., Sandy can't call me and book me for Wednesday at 9 a.m. because I just made an obligation to the first guy, right?
Right.
So now let's say you don't get paid. You haven't billed them yet, and you're hoping you're going to get paid when you show up. Well, a couple of things can go wrong. One, they have nothing to lose if they cancel.
Right.
Okay?
So what happens if they cancel? Do you charge them?
Hang on. I'll get to that. So another thing is, let's say you show up, they show up, and you're like, oh, great, I'm going to get paid at the end of this. And then you do the complete inspection. Maybe it's a big house. Maybe you just spent 4 hours of your day there, crawling on this shit, going in attics. It's 100 degrees out. Who knows? And then you're all done. And you just gave him the guy the layout. Okay, well, yeah, this is bad. You need to do this. Yeah. He says, fuck him. I'm not paying him. I'm not buying that house.
He leaves.
There's too many open doors that you are leaving to get yourself screwed. That is my point of why I set up my policy the way I have. I have a cancellation policy. I can explain that too.
I need a copy of that, if you don't mind.
Sure. So that is why I insist on contracts and payment in advance. If the customer is serious about the inspection, they're going to have no problem with it. If they're trying to string you along, they're going to not sign it, and you'll have to send them a reminder. I give people with typically 24 to 48 hours to sign. Although after that, I give them one more courtesy text. I need your attention on this. If you cannot commit, I cannot commit, and I'm going to have to cancel your inspection. I do not want to cancel your inspection, but you're backing me into a corner here, and the next person who calls for that spot is going to get it, and you're going to lose it. So I try to explain that as nice as I can, but there are people in the world who just think other people are expendable, and that goes for anybody.
Me.
Anybody. They think you're expendable, and if they know you're going to flex like this and bend over backwards on this one, well, he did it last time. I'll just ask him to do it again. You're creating a bad
Pattern.
pattern
Habit.
and a unsaid policy of your business. Like I said earlier when you talked about what kind of advice to give to home inspectors, you have to be in charge of your business. it entails making tough decisions. And yes, you might ruffle a feather here and there. But at the end of the day, the legitimate people who you want to do business with are going to respect your wishes. And they're going to do what you need them to do. And they're gonna understand the process. That's it. Very few people will give me static on what I do.
Yeah.
And it's usually the people who are not serious or someone who's trying to screw you over.
So if they cancel, do you refund the money, a percentage?
It depends on when they booked, when the job is, and when they canceled. So, for example...
And all this is in your cancellation policy?
Yep. It's all laid out right in the contract. It says, please be sure you're ready to confirm this inspection. A inspection cancellation fee does apply. Because you're reserving my time.
And the cancellation fee, it's on the contract and the body of the email confirmation?
Yep. It's everywhere.
Well, I need to use that.
Sure. No problem. You can set the price at whatever you want the cancellation fee to be. I just have mine at the way I have it set.
Okay.
So you can change all that, but I'll send you the wordage.
Okay.
I'm telling you, man, it's just, we're writing reports, we're inspecting, we're driving around. I just try to make life as simple as possible. And I'm a convenience kind of guy. I like convenience.
Right.
And my software provides me with convenience. That's why I use Spectora.
I use Horizon.
I think I used that back in 1980. No, I'm kidding.
Asshole.
Actually, you turned me on to that stuff.
Yeah. No, you know what? At the end of the day, it's whatever works for you.
Exactly.
It's what I tell people in all these new home inspectors is which one's the best software. If I use Horizon, but everybody gives you a free trial.
Yeah.
Use all of them and see which one works best for you.
Yep.
Because it's all about efficiency.
Well, Horizon to me was definitely on the top of the line. When you referred it to me back then, that was the cream of the crop. It had the best image gallery. The format was nicer. It just looked a lot more professional and like up to date. Not like
Spectora came in.
Spectora they just blew the lid off it. They just made it look way better.
Horizon, it's the software is made for inspectors by inspectors, and Spectora, the founders, they're brothers, right?
Yep.
And one of them used to be a realtor.
One used to be a realtor, and one used to do SEO.
Right. So that's a perfect combination. They're building.
They know the web
for realtor.
Web based.
For realtor friendly.
Yeah. And they know the web.
Right.
Which is super important nowadays.
Right. If it gets to the point, it's going to be a painful decision. If it gets to the point, if it is going to affect my bottom line, because everything is moving towards, online. And I know Horizon is there. They're just not there yet. But Spectora is there.
Yeah.
And I'm not promoting Spectora. I'm not promoting Horizon. It's whatever works for you.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things out there.
There's a lot of different
Some people, the part I will never understand about a home inspector discussion, doesn't matter who it's with, is, that software is too expensive. That I don't have insurance because it's too expensive. Excuse me.
Yes.
Welcome to the world of business. When you have a business, you have expenses that you cannot live without.
Spectora is more expensive than Horizon.
Guess what else they pay for every month?
Gasoline.
Phone service.
Yeah.
How important is your phone service to these days? How important is your device?
This is how important it is.
You have to, you got to understand when you're going into a business and running your own business, there's expenses you cannot get around. And if you want to make poor decisions over money, over paying $80 a month for software, if you're doing one inspection a month, I hope that would cover your software bill.
Yeah.
Unless you're working for free.
Yeah.
Which means you shouldn't be doing this anyway. You follow me?
Yes.
If you got to add up everything, and I think some people just don't do well with money. They just don't know how to manage money. I get it. We're not all perfect with money, but don't go stingy. Just like I said about the home buyers, don't be cheap on the home inspection. Be cheap on the blinds.
Yes, these are the same home inspectors that they tip more at their favorite restaurant than they do on any software system that can make their life easier.
Right. It's all about, hey, is it making my life easier? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we should end it there, man.
Let's do it.
Making life easier.
Making life easier
Yeah.
for the home inspector.
So, anyway, no, thanks for coming on, dude. I knew we'd have a good little chat, and you brought me a gift. I didn't have a gift yet. Listen, everybody, if I invite you on the show, you may be required to bring a gift from now on, because I think Rico just set the bar.
There you go.
He raised the bar. This is going to the bar.
That's a, what is it again? Let me see. It's a Broken Barrel Whiskey. Oh, no, that's the name of the company, the distillery. Broken Barrel Whiskey Company. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey finished with port staves.
Too much information, dude. Just drink it.
STAVES. It's an American made.
Yeah, I'm really inexperienced in the beer market and the alcohol market because I don't spend much time around it anymore.
Well, I'm very big on aesthetics. When I saw this bottle, I'm like, I'll take it.
Yeah, it does look nice. Yeah, it is. That's good marketing right there.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't drink it, just have it for your guests.
So,
this one too. You could have this one.
El Chingón.
El Chingon.
El Chingón. That's what we're drinking today. All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. That's it for the show. It was a long one, and it was very random topics. Hope you enjoyed it.
Random shit.
And I want to say thank you to Rico Sandoval from Vortex Inspection Group. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.